Responsibility. Most of the time, my ego mind makes me or forces me to see demons, aggressors, abusers outside of myself. So most of the time I open my eyes and relate to situations, to other individuals, and I project onto them that what I am feeling, thinking, or doing. So I am angry because somebody made me angry. I am sad because this situation is making me sad. A classical example. Why did God or life took away from me, my mother, my brother, my partner, when they die? And the reflection on the person is really and truly feeling that somebody outside of themselves has made the decision to take away from them this person or this situation, as if this is personal, as if this entity, invisible entity, is occupied trying to see how to make my life miserable. When we are engaged in that way of thinking, we are trapped in a prison that has no exit. There is no way outside of that prison. That is the life of the victim. That is the life of someone that has become a slave of reality, that has no choice, that has no way of deciding on anything, basically, because it understands life as something that is occurring onto or to them. And there is no way out. There is no way out of this prison, of this enslavement. If we want to recover our sovereignty, our freedom, our capacity of choice, we need to enter into the realm of responsibility, which means also liability, meaning I am responsible for whatever it is that it's occurring in my life. I am the one who is creating it, who is manifesting it. Life is not something that happens to me. I happen to life, and I decide how I engage with life. So circumstances are there, external circumstances, but they are outside of my control. They are not something that it's really inside of my field of action. It's life. Life is happening. Illness, death, change, movement. This is the nature of reality. Death, for example, is our one certainty, and that implies radical change. And that implies that I am mortal, and that this life one day it's going to be over. So when I decide to get trapped in the blaming game, in the personal game of there's something or someone out there that's making my life miserable, I am in a very primitive way of thinking, and I am in the prison of the victim. And the prison of the victim is eternal suffering. It's a reality of suffering, of endless suffering and affliction. So illness in itself is not suffering. It is just a circumstance. It's just something that occurs, something that happens to my body. Now I can choose whether that illness is a vehicle of evolution, of breakthrough, of possibilities. If I embrace it as a journey, or if I embrace it as an affliction. And in the same way with every single thing about life, every single thing that occurs internally and externally, responsibility is a space that's uncomfortable because it represents to be able to embrace who I truly am in its beauty, in its glory, in its all its abilities, but also in its shadow, in its worst manifestations, in my darkness. It also implies to see, accept my darkness, my ignorance, and that's uncomfortable. That is something that we humans are not or have not been educated to embrace. So if I decide to live in a life where I blame the visible, the invisible, I blame everything to things, circumstances, or people outside of myself, I will be in an eternal cage or prison of suffering. If for any reason I've decided that that's not the way I want to live, that that's not the reality I want to create, here is the door. Here is the magical key that opens up that prison. I am responsible.